Well, after that absolute odyssey of a map one, it's time to see if things will calm down. But seeing as the map's named Inferno, I think we might be keeping up the heat here, John.
Yes, indeed. Strife do play here quite a bit. 7 times over the last 3 months, 3-4 record. I'm not going to give much time to talk here, though, because Dare is going to get the opening frag towards Banana, and he might get himself a 3-piece. No, he finally goes down after 2, and Joel's and Slight get a couple to their name. 3v2. B site has been taken, but it is the pistol round, so one wayward shot from USP perhaps through this smoke can even things out.
Banana smoke thrown early. It's going to put pressure on the Jitter to get back through. His teammates a little isolated for the moment, but it seemed like he might just find the edge of this. We're waiting for contact. There's that contact, and oh, the contact. It is good. All in the intra. He's already dinked up, and Slight will take him on out of play. Nice 3-piece for Slight. Nice pistol round for Strife. After dropping both pistol rounds, you'll recall back on Vertigo, they get one of their own.
Yeah, and this is Strife's map pick, even though, as mentioned, they do have that losing record. A lot of the reason why they have such a negative round differential at -13 is because they lost 5-16 against Complexity, which never helps. But up against B-Hop prior to that, also a loss, 9-16, and then to GG, losing 13-16. So they have a 3-game losing streak right now over the last 3 BO3s, and it seems like they still want to pick into it, trying to work out the kinks here. And that pistol round at least yielding them the early edge they were looking for. Timbermen are not going to buy up a single stitch of anything here into this round. Dry USPs all stacked up towards the A site, which Strife have a couple of members locking into, so maybe a frag will come through for the Timbermen, but Strife being very cautious, Mike.
They are indeed. Can't get tripped up. We didn't really see any eco rounds get out of hand. But still a good idea to be careful, and Joel's is going to be carefully making some money. 3 kills with that MAC-10. He's up to 58-50 before this round, and we got the bonus round coming through. Not a body drop, so it is a true bonus round here, folks.
Yeah, and Timbermen, if you're looking at their stats in Inferno, technically 2-1, Mike, with a +6 round differential, but 2 of those wins coming up against main/advanced level competition, so I wouldn't read too much into that. We'll have to see what they can do up against Strife here, and if they can close out this series at 2-0, or if we're bound for map number 3, which is Mirage. What a toss of the utility there towards Banana by Timbermen. Joel's and Slight down to 42 and 25 HP respectively.
That's quite the maneuver. What is Droid trying to accomplish here? I think he was maybe trying to throw a... I don't know. Either way, the hit's coming on in, and there's 1 kill, 2 kills for Snav. Droid got one of his own, so whatever he was doing over there, or whatever he was fumbling with, it's not going to matter, because when push comes to shove, well, they killed everybody.
Yeah.
And the secret, folks, is even if you fumble your util, if you shoot everybody, you will win a round of Counter-Strike.
Yes. This is extremely accurate and factual.
That's what the big YouTube nade videos industry doesn't want you to know. Nart's trying to suppress that knowledge. Who needs smoke lineups? Just click heads.
I mean, to Timberman's credit, the utility in the early rounds, not the smokes, but the nades and the Molotovs were quite good. So, did a lot of damage to Strife and made it very difficult for them to get onto those bomb sites. Now Strife will still have plenty of cash. They bring 2 AKs, 2 Galils, and the AWP into this round, using a lot of utility in the early round already. Slight going to burn a little bit in that Molotov, down to 69, now 49 HP. Thanks to a nade that's tossed on board, and Timberman. Goodness, the utility has been strong here towards Banana once more, completely blinding Slight, but instead of trying to take the fight, they decide to fall back onto the site proper and take a more passive stance here on their defensive end.
This is a bit of a change-up we saw from Strife, but once again, the Timbermen are showing real stinginess with their nade that served them so well on Vertigo. I mean, look at this again. They've got so much util. We're a minute in, 50 seconds. Strife haven't done anything to draw it out of them. And so the Timbermen just have a really massive util advantage. You got 3 players towards the right side of the map. They're not flinching in the slightest. It seems like Strife might be the ones to blink. And head back in towards B. Smoke thrown at Moto. So he's going to pull the rotate back over. It's going to hold the 3rd player there. That's a lot of their util commitment coming in. So now they got to go. It will just be these 2 players backside. So they have done a good job of holding the rotator. And they've still got Jolt there as a lurk. Here comes the hit. Here comes push coming to shove. Snap takes the first. He's not punished either. Try to catch one off guard. No. Deleted. What a snappy shot there from Jitter. They
10 seconds.
They needed to have something going. They need to get this bomb planted. They need a lot of things, John. They're not getting them. That bomb has to go down. I think it did just in the nick of time, but now they have to hold on, and Jitter might be helping them out. Somehow Darty Montana lives. He's got an off, giving on over.
Hmm.
The player's close. That's not happening just yet. But they are advancing through the cross. Shane on point. They're behind. There's the spot. What a shot for Jitter. Dare seems to have a good idea, but he's going to need to swing quickly with that AWP. Now he's been spotted, I believe. Looking for the shot, looking for the last. He's got the kill. Only one more. No time-o. He's got to stick this bomb. He's got to try and get it done. From behind the fountain, he should be exposed, and there's the execution coming on through. Beautifully handled by Jitter. 1 HP, 4 kills, and 1 round in the win column for Strife.
That was absolute pandemonium at the B side. It looked like Timbermen were going to have the edge with all the utility they'd saved up, but as Strife worked in towards that 4v2 effectively on the B side, it just, I don't know. I mean, Timbermen got the opening frags, but they were able to somehow pull it on back thanks to Jitter, of course. Did the bulk of the work. And now the Timbermen are relegated down to pistols only, 3 Deagles and 2 USPs. I really do appreciate the patience from Timbermen with that util, because oftentimes you're just so tempted to toss it on forward in the early rounds as Jitter's going to get the opener here. Should be around for Strife, given the buyout. But yeah, it's important to keep it, especially on CT side, because you can do so much work delaying the executes with those incendiaries and, of course, smokes.
It does lead me to wonder, though, right? Okay, Shane's asking some questions. The questions it does lead me to wonder, though, because once the team realizes that you're going to be so stingy with those nades, there comes a point where they say, okay, well, let's just go for a B pop, and they're not going to throw anything.
Well, I think they're using a little bit of enough utility towards B, right? That it's going to keep Strife guessing as to when it's going to be safe to push up. But you're right. There is certainly an opening.
There is. Strife haven't quite capitalized yet. They haven't tested it. But it's a possibility. 4 rounds on T side. This is the total that either side achieved on Vertigo on their attacking half. So we're already looking better T side wise, which makes me happy. Just like to see some balanced counter strike, John.
Yes. As do I. No question. Inferno is one of the most balanced maps. That's why it always seems to feature a lot of overtimes, a lot of classical and very memorable matches, right?
Yeah. Heretics want to get rid of this map. I'm looking at you, JoJo, but it continues to deliver.
Not even close to a map, to my mind, to remove from the pool.
Oh, Snap found one. Playing a game against Guess Who through the smoke. But what a shot from Joel's. Flying on out. He'll collect. And it's getting very messy indeed. And Entra's here for the cleanup. Call him the butler because he's sweeping up the crumbs here. And it's all on the Slight. One more guest coming for the dinner service. But Slight's serving the meals right now. One player on the site. A teammate rotating in. Slight has no idea. They are. He's flying one. Oh, coming through the smoke. Dare will capitalize with the USP.
Now I like the idea from Slight trying to hunker himself down into mini pit and hit another off shot to make it a 1v1. But once he misses the player at headshot box, it's very difficult to even get back to cover. And you saw there just pulling out the USP, the remaining player on Timbermen, or one of the 2 remaining ones, and gets that frag. Second round picked up by the Timbermen. It all starts with a very solid hold in that A site. In fact, there were so many X's towards lane. A good read by the Timbermen, realizing where Strife were coming from. Then did not rescind control of the round. Strife Gonna be on to pistols only here, Mike. All tech 9s. Usually this would indicate a quick play is going to be coming through, but it appears though they're at least taking their time for now. Could end up being a very rapid pop out of the apartments with Slight having to throw these 2 flashbangs along with Wreck his solo flashbang to support the push.
Nate? Jitter just avoids that. Wreck gets a kill. Things getting a little interesting. Not too interesting, though. And Intra is making them a whole lot more calm, cool, and collected. Slight, his toe tickled by the flames, is now alone. The question becomes, can he and this lonely Tech 9 do anything? The answer is probably not.
Yeah, maybe with the bomb on his back.
Doesn't like answers.
That's that for that round. So Strife took a little bit of a risk trying to aggressively out there on an eco round with the Tech 9s in their hands, but well read by the timbermen. In fact, the flash didn't really hit the mark, and that's why the players that were trying to funnel out of apartments just got picked off like lambs to the slaughter. 3 rounds picked up by the timbermen, looking to make it a 4-4 tie here, but Strife will be bringing all rifles back up and running here. 3 AKs and the 2 Galils. Very strong amount of utility on both sides. And Strife, ever the eager ones, are going to use that util very early on in the round. And Intra's not blinded at all. He is not deterred here. He gets the opening 2 frags. Darty, Montana, and Jitter are down. A 5v3 again for the timbermen.
Intra having a really hot start to this map. Looking very good now that the rifles are coming out. Going on multi-kill after multi-kill. Shane dropped in the pit, but he did take a lot of health away from Joel's in the meantime. So what does Strife even want to do here? Relocating all the way around. And admittedly, with Droid left on towards B, there's a possibility. They get this kill. They get a quick headshot on towards Droid. Boom. There's a sight. There's a possibility. There's a chance. But they need to accelerate. They have pulled Snav for the moment. But eventually, they'll get an idea. It looks like Snav and Dare are going to double peek into this lane, realize no one's here, and whoopsie! Figure out their mistake. Dare's rotating. Hit's got to come now if it's going to happen. There's no smoke, I don't think. That's a problem. And the AWP's on the angle. The AWP has it collected. 2 players in the pool, but bomb drop. They'd have to cross back. John, that's a catastrophe.
Yeah, probably the round here. Droid's going to get 1 snap, the last one, and that will be it. Round taken by the timbermen, and actually a really nice pop flash thrown by Droid. Strife tried to flash out the cross, right, to ensure that the op wouldn't have visibility, but I think even though they got across the pool, the other player who would be able to support them at Banana ended up going down, so they were trapped, and Droid doing a good job of closing out the round for his team. So Timbermen do indeed tie it at 4. The buy round yields nothing for Strife. And now they're back to the pistols. 2 Tech 9s, the P250, the Deagle, and the Glock. Only a hair of utility, a flashbang, and a smoke. And they are eating some nades on their side as well, with Slight going down to 81 and Wreck at 75. A little bit of aggression by Shane into the apartments, just looking for some information. But for the most part, Timbermen haven't really overpeaked. They're letting Strife come to them, and their patient play is being rewarded.
Again, the nades being held. Big way, waiting until they see presence. Timbermen just playing back a sight. Chilling. Hanging out. Graveyard pit. Snav's checking out books in the library. But a little bit of a different look. They're going to go in towards spawn? No. They're going to go for a wrap on towards A, and there are a lot of players here, so this could be a little bit of a tough nut to crack. 35 seconds. Still plenty of util from the Timbermen. Comes the hit. 1 player flying out. Spacing's a little bit awkward there. And Jones will find the kill. But they've certainly got to go. Worst thing they can do is live.
Yep.
And they won't do that.
No. Not at all. 3K coming through from Shane, and I mean, look, Strife tried to go for the execute, at least get the bomb plant on the A site, but they couldn't get past the crosshairs of the Timbermen. So a pretty straightforward round victory. Maybe a little scary for a couple of moments for the Timbermen, but they were able to take care of business. And now Strife again back to the rifles. But let's not forget it was 4-1 in favor of Strife, and since that point, the Timbermen, once they got those rifles in their hands, have won 4 rounds in a row, looking to make it 5 now. Finally, Strife are going to have a full util set across the board to work with. Intra's going to toss that flashbang over the top of the roof on mid. Dare, aggressive posturing with this op, Mike.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's definitely a timing game, though, and he's off of it. Didn't give him the chance. Wants to avoid getting caught. Now he's taking shots, and they're going quick. Strife finding that gap, finding that capitalization, and Slight gets 2. That's nicely done. Bomb likely going to go down. Man advantage here, and a tough spot for the Timbermen. This is where we talk about picking up the pace for Strife, potentially catching them off guard. When you're patient with your nades, sometimes man exercises a little bit too much patience at the wrong time, and the accelerated play from Strife catches them. Oh, position of Boiler's deadly. They're not prepared. Joel's got 1, not the second. That's a little awkward. Still, time is low, and somehow it's a 2v2. The defuse still a possibility. They're going to make their move on in. And Rack peaks just before the smoke blooms and finds 2.
Wow, what a peek from Rek. Droid and Snav both not expecting it, and 2 insta headshots delivered from the barrel of his AK. Tied up 5-5, and actually Timmerman made an, I don't know, I guess unnecessary adjustment in that round. They got very aggressive. You saw the op in the apartments really far up, and A was relatively vacant. And, you know, Strife were able to take advantage of the fact the utility is going to be a little lighter to push right on through to the A site. But as opposed to the previous rounds where Timbermen were postured and patient, this time they were too far up, and Slight did a good job of punishing. So here we go. Round number 11, Dare. Thinking about peering around the edge of that smoke with Intra, but now they're going to fall back. And this is the type of passive play that's yielded a lot of rounds in their favor on CT side.
Sam Intra looks like he's going to tuck in towards the cubby. Different look for sure. Different posturing. Knife out, but that works. Oh, the jump in towards the pit draws the focus, and Darty Montana takes full advantage. There will get 1 on the periphery, but this has to be a save. They have to back out. They've got no interest in it. The money has run out here for the Timbermen, and Strife are going to slide into the lead.
That's such a smart play, right? To using the mobility of a player with their knife out to attract the attention of the rifle, and then a quick peek around the corner to deliver an easy killing blow. Really like that attention to detail coming through from Strife. And now, well, it is Inferno. And once the A site is taken, it is a very difficult retake, especially when you're a man down. And Timmermen decide, you know what, let's just save this util, save the A1Ss, and then force up around Shane and Intra to try again in the following round.
So this round's going to be a little light in the pockets, or is it, John? What you going to do, Timberman? Where's your timber?
I'd be surprised. Sorry, Mike.
I was just going to say, seems like they're saving the wood for winter.
Yeah. Interesting decision. Just going with the USPs when you have the 3 A1Ss there, and they don't even go for util. I don't mind it. You know, you walk in, you have the 3 A1Ss, you still have a buy-up insured in the following round, and you're not in a terrible position to potentially take a round here. It's just that util that has been serving the tournament so well is not going to be available.
That's definitely true. The flip side is if you do this, suddenly there's 2 more guns to be found. Okay, you want to go shopping for rifles? Here's some rifles. A little bit of over-aggression there, and then Slight says, yeah, you want to pick up those rifles. I'm going to make you pay for it. So we're back to even numbers, but guns are fully up. Intra, no armor for sure. But look at this spot for Dare. Look at this cheeky, cheeky spot for Dare. He's dead. Too cheeky.
Yeah, I mean, very risky to just hold that angle for so long, right? Because you're exposed from T apartments, and eventually he does go down. So now a 3v2 in favor of Strife. They have full control of A, and Timbermen, realizing what happened, are again going to be on a save. The 2 AKs will be
Yeah.
carried forward, and you kind of have to.
Yeah, I think that if Droid saves this rifle and armor and kit, I think he can buy an op. Math is hard, so I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm relatively sure he'll be able to drop an AWP for Dare. That ring true, John? Fact check me here.
I'm doing the math right now,
It's
and
2,500. They've got at
yes.
least second round loss bonus.
Yes. He should be able to
Should be
drop the
fine.
op, but he will sacrifice util, but maybe someone else can drop him that.
I mean, even then, right? Like, not that big a deal.
Yeah.
It's not great. You'd rather have full util, but AWP, pretty shiny.
Yep. And he has the money to do exactly that, and I'd be surprised if they don't go for it.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
4750 zoom banger. Purchase, drop, put on over, collected.
Alrighty. Jumping into round number 13 here. Strife have extended their lead to 2 rounds. A pretty solid T side, all things considered, picking up 7 already here on Inferno. Dare going to go for the op-v-op duel? No, we're not going to get it just yet because he backs off around the corner. Takes more passive hold of this angle. Jitter going to walk into it. Do they spot him out in time? I think he saw the arm. He did. Slight's going to go down, and he knows a second player is there as well. 5v4 nade won't connect for much damage. In fact, I don't think any damage at all. Jitter sees an op get blown right next to him, but Timbermen, Strife, do not need that op on their T side. They want the rifles.
Jitter is a lurk in the apps, but otherwise these 3 players are coming on in a thundering. Still smoke available for Droid. So we go below a minute. There's a decent amount of util for this execution. Question is answered. As Jitter is not able to find anything over towards A. That would have been a nice distraction. That's not going to happen. Instead, they're going to have to risk this smoke, and on they go, and Droid capitalizes. Droid and Snav shut this down. That's a brilliant response from the Timbermen. And not only that, they stay healthy.
Yeah, timely peek in the early round by Dare to get the opening op frag. You know, he realized that there was a couple, at least one player, right, around the corner at mid. So he figures, okay, let's check the close angle. He does, pre-fires it pretty much because he comes around that corner expecting someone to be there, and then gets the opener and backs off immediately. After that Strife, we're just trying to pick up the pieces. They didn't have Slight, who is a key piece for them on either side of the map. And, well, you saw what happened at the B side at the end. Just complete slaughter. Nothing Timberman could do. And there is Dare again. Taking down Wreck this time. 5v4 in the early goings for the Timbermen. That's exactly what they were looking for. And now they can go back and tuck themselves in. Dare actually rotates around to the apartments. Finds himself a second on Joel's. And now he's staring down a boiler. He's not going to get the third. It probably could have had he stayed in that position. Jitter, in the meantime, does make it work towards the B site. Needs a second here, and he finds it. 3v3. Tons of space opened up. Do they have the smoke? They do. They have 2. They can throw that now. Jitter, perhaps a little too riskily, peeks around that corner, and Dare will actually find Dark Montana before he can rotate around to the B site. But they don't need anyone, Mike. They just need Jitter, who's got 3.
Why not? Why not? Make it happen there, Jitter. Tapping away, the lineup is there, but Jitter secures it. Tucks one more kill into his pocket, and an 8th round on the board for Strife. Jitter's having a game, 100 ADR, 14 and 8. He is, I believe, top of the board, and indeed he is for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, Jitter is always a player admired for his raw fragging ability, which is why it surprised me that he went without a team for so long. I'm pretty sure that was his choice because he could have contributed to pretty much any ECL team with the way he plays. So, good to see him back, of course. And I think he'll be a very valued addition to Strife, especially as time goes on and he gets more and more comfortable on the squad.
Okay, there's your opener. As Strife try and put this last round away. Snabs Jason, but that smoke is timely. Prevents this Farmers from being a whole lot more deadly, and without the util, this is going to get tough for the Timbermen. That's a big kill to find. Droid goes forward and locks down Banana. Now they don't need to worry about rotating. They can focus on this A defense. And Strife lose that element of mystery. Snap, that's a tough angle to play with the Farmers. Getting just a bit closer, but the smoke obscures his vision. It means that these two players inside are very much isolated. That's a big first kill for Intra. Need some more of that. Need some more of that. He's delivering. Intra with the site multi-kills again and again. He's doing it. Loses his pit player to play off of. It's all on a Jitter, and Jitter is making something happen, but he has to recover the bomb. That's the problem. Player tucked in towards Moto, and Jitter has a lot of room to cover. Then try and play the time. Hope that he can bait them out, but they've shown patience so far, John. They've shown great patience on the Timberman side, and, well, the more time that goes by, the better of a hold they have on that bomb. Jitter's wary. Wary of a flank coming through, wary of a player coming in to his unprotected rear. Oh, but it's the front he's got to be concerned with, and that shot will send us to the half. Half number 2 underway here. Just one round separates these two teams. 11-4 in Vertigo was the split. 8-7 for this one. Couldn't be a more different tale here, John.
Yeah, definitely not. Strife looked a lot better on their T side, although you can see sometimes they are a bit disjointed, likely because they're switching IGLs. It's going to happen a lot more often, at least in the early goings, until they settle into this new structure. On the Timbermen side, I mean, overall, they showed a lot of resilience on their CT side to recover after being down, as mentioned, quite significantly 4-1 early. Strife unable to hang on to that big lead. Jitter.
Yeah, and I mean, again, they lost the pistol and the conversion rounds afterwards as well. It was a clean start for Strife, so this is a really good showing for the Timbermen, to be quite frank. Nades effective here from Strife, but no kills found just yet. This bomb is going down, and a big part's going to be about this flank up banana. What are they able to find on it? One traded. It's a bit messy here, but Jitter's making it work. Droid needs to hold on to this position. He's going to go forward to fight for it. Knows that he has to deal with Darty Montana so he can help out his teammates. He needs to get this kill done quickly, and unfortunately, there are no teammates left to help out. Now he's got a fight in his hands. What a tap. They're just going to get the defuse going, and he's not finding the kills just yet. They're going to defuse right under his nose and kill him to add insult to injury, or injury to insult, I guess, in that example.
Droid, oh man, he ran out of bullets. I thought maybe he could connect on the head of the diffuser, but misses, and after that point needs to go for a reload and not given the opportunity to get another magazine into that USP. Strife going to pick up another pistol round, so they got both on this map, which, as you mentioned, makes it even more impressive that Timbermen were even able to get up to 7 rounds overall on the board. But because they get the bomb plant, that means Galils are out. 4 of them, in fact, with Droid settling for the MAC-10 to get a little bit more utility, because that's where it's slightly lighter, with 2 smokes, the flash, and the HE. Timbermen leaning towards that B site. Strife stacking 2 players up at new box for the time being, and now they've decided to shift off of that and set up more of a crossfire. There are those 2 smokes, one available here towards banana, and it looks like that's where they're going to commit their utility, and wherever the utility is committed is likely where the hit's going to come.
Yeah. Seems to be the case. Here comes the util. Here comes the excursion. Rat gets the smoke out, but he's got to be careful not to get caught. And, Jitter does save him on the first. Tough spot to stick around in. They know it's here. Jitter still gets a second. Keeps the numbers even. Util is available, but it's not grand for Strife. So once this bomb goes down, life gets a lot tougher. There's a kid on Slight. Keep an eye on that. If it gets dropped in an inopportune place, that could be bad. But with him already up towards the coffins, that's not expected. Poking and prodding here is Slight. His first kill is going to send a lot of dominoes tumbling down. No flank towards banana. That's been spotted. Now some information gained here. A fight, a duel with these coffins players, and nobody's dropped just yet. Time's starting to get a little bit short. Intra draws first blood, and there it goes. All on the Jols. 2 to find, and Droid, good for it.
That's just some fantastic crosshair placement from Droid, because he didn't have any room to make a mistake. One errant shot, and he was dead. He makes every single one count to help the Timbermen bring it back and get an 8th on their force buy round. So the Galils ring true. And now the Timbermen are looking to tie it up once more at 9-9. Strife not going to be able to bring much to bear in this round. It's just going to be pistols on the force buy. In fact, 3 5.7s make that 4 5.7s and the P250. Up close, that 5.7 is a one-shot headshot. So if Strife play their cards right, might be able to pull off a surprise round victory. Going to peek around this corner is Darty Montana. He went for information around mid and certainly spotted at least 1, maybe 2. Thing is, the Timbermen are going towards the weaker side, and Rex going to get taken down to 35 as he gets gushed.
And Nate chasing him as well. Oh, he's done. HG's found him. Do they press? They're not trusting it. Smoke on, but this is leading to a helter-skelter rotation here. And with just the pistols, it's going to be a tough ask for the remaining Strife players. Here comes Joel's got nothing out of that one. They're just trying their luck. They're just trying to spam the late flower plot boost. Does collect 1, but no more. Trade is there. Bomb is likely down here in a moment. Joel's just going to try and make a play through smoke, because what else do they even have? There's the flashbang, there's the check, there's the kill! But only one. It's just not enough. They just don't have the firepower here, John. They just don't have the follow-through. And at this point, Jitter might just try and play for an exit. See if maybe he could bring a gun to the next round.
Might be able to. Dare. Likely going to give him this fight with the pistol out, and Jitter wins it. Trying to grab the M4 and run. He can't pick it up. Pressing is so inconsistent to grab guns, and Jitter feels the pain on that one as he will fall. Droid delivering the killing blow. And Timbermen do indeed tie it up at 9-9. A valiant effort by Strife. A lot of respect, in fact, being shown by Timbermen, not pushing out there into what they knew were just pistols on Strife. They waited, wanted to see if any push would come through, and then went for a full-on execute. So no chances taken at all. Now they're going to walk into this one with the 2 MAC-10s and the 3 AKs, because Strife, well, they are just on pistols once more, and this time nothing else but USPs. No armor, no utility. They've got to go for the full-on save. Stacking up towards the A side, going for a push out of the apartments, and well, Shane's going to be right there with the worst gun possible for them, the MAC-10. In the meantime, Inter gets a couple with the AK, and then Shane wraps it up with the lock. That'll be that.
Nice and clean for the Timbermen. A lot of money made. I mean, they've got cash, right? Even Shane's going to get an upgrade on this one. They're just going to keep to the 1 MAC-10. But this is Timbermen pulling into the lead. This is 10 rounds on the board, and this gun round is going to be critical for Strife. The first big investment, and they're all the way in. So it's early days. It's such early days still. But it does feel like in this instance, this round takes on undue weight. Slight's going for an ultimate peek. This could be risky. There's a player underpass. Oh, he gets away. That could have been very bad if Slight got caught early on. So potentially going to take next contact. Utility here. Jitter. He's been seen, but he did find great damage for his efforts.
Yeah, a ton of damage done on Strife's side. Snav down to 18 and Droid down to 33. So it's a tough ask to continue re-peeking towards Banana with all the damage they've taken. There's still 3 players on Strife ready and waiting here. Thing is, Timbermen have not committed towards the B site. They've still got enough utility to go for an execute on A3. Smokes are going to help out immensely. And the space has been given to them. No one watching Arch side. No one really watching Bracket either. The only presence they have on A are a couple players in Pit. That's Darty Montana and Mini Pit, and Joel's waiting in Pit proper. Timbermen actually going to go to potentially the worst spot to engage with these 2 players, though, Mike. Coming out of the apartments, Joel's is going to get one onto Snav, hiding behind the smoke now. Darty Montana's going to get a freebie, and Joel's racks up another. Make it a 3-piece. Droid, the last one standing with only 33 HP, as mentioned, he will fall as well. Joel's rocking the quad kill in the round. Mike, I mean, of all the places they could go, that was just the worst one.
Little unfortunate here. One thing to note that is somewhat interesting over on the Strife side is looking at the board, right? Rec very much having a slow game. Darty Montana as well having a slow game. And those are 2 players we were looking at as being big firepower pieces over on Vertigo. So Jitter stepping up has definitely helped bail Strife out here and keep them in this fight. But they could use another one coming up online. Be a big help. Nice nade. Oh, goodness. Droid, I think, at this point is just like a few limbs hanging together. Just his whole midriff is gone.
Yeah, the utility's been strong. It's actually another thing that's been holding Strife together is how much damage they've been doing against the Timbermen as they go for these B takes. But Dare dry peeks towards Jitter and
that's
takes
supposed to
him
work.
down. No, it's not, but it did. 5v4 in favor of the Timbermen, and now they have the space to work with towards the B side. They're forcing a rotation out of Strife, so that weakens the hold in the A side again. And it's Darty Montana to come around and try and support. Another smoke's going to come through here. Should they go for the execute? And that appears to be what they're posturing for. All 5 players are going to charge up here. Wreck in a really good spot on top of first oranges, and Oh, good Molotov to delay the push here, and then Wreck peers around the tippy top of that smoke, drops Snap, makes it a 4v4, then falls back to New Box. Darty Montana peering around the corner to the smoke, gets punished immediately by Droid, but Wreck is right there to deliver another frag back. In fact, chaos ensuing, and right now we have a 3v2 in favor of the Timbermen, who have control of the site, but HP is light for Droid along with Dare Mike. And it
It's
is
got
going
to
to
be
be
a
a
save,
save.
though. Even though, I mean, obviously with our omniscient view, we can see how close these players are. That at least it'd probably be worth Slight throwing his nades in there to see if you could catch Droid.
Yep.
Strife, I think when they watch back the demo, are going to be a little frustrated with themselves, but they are making the right decision with incomplete information. It's just, it would be so devastating to lose these guns right now, right? And it's such a tough retake. This is a hard one, but it's the disciplined play to make, and I like it from Strife.
Honestly, it was a very tightly contested battle on that B site. It came down to who could get the last frag, that sixth frag of the round, or I should say fifth frag on the round overall, and it ended up being the Timbermen to pull it off. So 11-10 in their favor. As you mentioned, very important to keep those rifles up and running because their economy wasn't terrible, right? I think they had about 2K pretty much across the board, but you need that for utility. It's much more expensive with an incendiary being 600 versus 300 for a Molotov. So they keep the money in their bank, they keep the rifles up and running, and that means pretty much a full-on buy will ensue here. The thing is, if they lose this round, Mike, they will be broke. Nice flashbang thrown by Darty Montana to help Jules get that frag, but Shane and Ninja respond with three. In fact, frags destroyed, getting the last one. Darty Montana dropped the over-aggression, not paying off for Strife.
Interesting. With only 2 players remaining, having seen the op, they could just leave, but instead, the Timbermen are getting in towards the pit. You know where the op's at. If they could find this player library, it would be over. It would be over. It might still be. Oh, what does Strife want to do? It's a similar situation, but the A site is a little bit more viable, shall we say. A smoke down towards a moto would go a long way. Where is the smoke? It's on Dare. Where is the Dare? He's in apps. What are they going to do? He's hoping that the over-aggression is going to come from the other side. Doesn't want to unscope. It's not going to happen. Eventually, they got to do it. Still wary of a player having slipped in towards the site. They're very nervous. Very patient on it. 30 seconds. They're going to make that move. The health is so low. This rifle could be huge. But he can't find the killing blow. Jitter couldn't connect the shot. One bullet would have done it for the pit player of Intra. Instead, now they're in a really tough spot, and they've got no damaging utility. That's a huge kill. Slight is out of here. He wants this off. He wants it to survive. And once again, a situation where the health of Timberman was hanging by an absolute thread.
Oh, my goodness. Slight wants a shot back, though. He hit Shane, legged him or hit him through the wall. Didn't see exactly, but got him down to 5 HP. If he gets a clean hit on Shane, that's a 2v2, and it makes it so much more viable. And now they're going to spot out Slight. They're going aggressive on the hunt, even though their economy's not that great. Shane wants to find this. That smoke might even be more detrimental to Slight than it is to Shane, who's going to just walk through the smoke with his knife out. That was ballsy, but Slight takes the no-scope shot and drops him to the ground. Wow. Okay, wow. Shane.
Little post-round shenanigans, but the end result is still the same, right? Slight saving this off obviously does give them something to fight with in this, but Strife are hamstrung. They can't really put much around it. They're going to be so very broke, and they need to keep their money alive to have a chance to fight this. So they can't risk investing around, so it's up to the AWP. Either Slight is going to deliver in this round, or the Timbermen are going to be up to 13.
Not going to be easy. Of course, the op gives them a much better chance of finding success, and they did upgrade 3 of their pistols. They have a 5.7, P250, and a Deagle. Joel's in a good spot to punish here, and he gets one. Looking for the second. Can he get it? No, but he does damage. Down to 44 HP is Snap. Slight trying to thread the needle with the op, but he's in a really bad spot. He needs to back away from this, Mike.
Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck. He's stuck in the bedroom, and they know it. Does he get away? He's got to risk the Molotov, but he does just about. But now he's down to 20. Any of those bold peaks you were hoping for, those are done. Those are done. It's going to be the bunch play. But look at this. Strife for bunching towards the right site. Strife for bunching up. in just the right spot and maybe just the right time. It looks like the Timbermen want to come in. They're knocking on the door. They're knocking on the front. It's going to be up to the pistols, but there's a lot of them. And the ops now here as well. Jitter out. First domino falls. First piece off the board.
What?
And they're following one after another. Slight's now very committed as well. So the question is, can he even escape if he wanted to? He's going to try and find out.
I think Rex trying to attract attention in his direction by getting tagged by that Molotov, so maybe Slight can escape, but it doesn't work out. Droid is going to spray him down, and now Slight is trapped. Do they think that he faded away and got away from this? Looks like they're going to try and hunt towards CT. He could survive here,
He's
maybe.
been spotted.
No,
he's been
not
spotted.
right
He was going to try and go for the ninja, I think.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah, he was seen. Timbermen are aware of it. There'll be another investment into this round, but we are perhaps coming to the dying embers of the fire of Inferno. The Timbermen very close to closing this one out.
The good news for Strife is that they didn't invest anything into that round, right? They just had the op, which tried to make some noise and didn't work. But now they'll have a full-on buy, Mike.
Now they do. Now they do, but the hour has grown late, John. And again, Timbermen up a map already. They just need 3 rounds to close this out and take a dub. Open their campaign in Season 42 of the ESL Challenger League. Droid's got some spots, got some information, but he's pretty isolated. He needs some teammates to fight with him, and he's not going to have it. So Wreck will find that early pick at very little cost to the Strife side. Very individual plays here, and they are getting punished. Snav and Droid down for the count very early on. And okay, there goes Intra. All right. All of the discipline and patience that the Timbermen have been showing apparently just went out the window in this one.
It feels like that round on CT side where they just decided to go full-on aggressive and opened up all the space for Strife to push into the bomb site. And, well, Pure again, one at a time, going into the fight towards mid. There's one for Shane. Still a 2v4. 50 seconds
so
left.
Important here, John.
Yeah, not to mention, of course, that they could still come out with this round if they can find a path in towards the A site, but I think that they might just try and throw away the op. Wow. Oh, no, it falls.
It didn't work. It didn't stay there. I like the idea, though. I like the hustle. You know, Shane, even if it falls, I don't think they're going to find it.
I don't think they're going to go for
He's
this,
really committed to making sure they don't find it. But I like the idea there.
Now, where did he leave his gun?
But he threw it out there. But, you know,
There it
plenty
is.
of time to recover. 18 seconds. You don't want to get clocked. Provided they don't get clocked, they're fine. Oh, and there's another kill. There's another gun. Out of their hands.
Oh, no. 10 seconds left.
Uh-oh. Bomb plant. Bomb plant coming in. This round is open now. It should have been done. Instead, this bomb is down. It's a 1v2 for Dare. He can pull this off. He's made it happen before. AK picked up. Rifle fully available. Gonna smoke. Give himself a little bit of extra cover. Maybe slip into the lane. He slipped it. He's gotten around. He's gotten out of the sight. He's making this maneuver happen. Doesn't go around the corner, but Rek was admittedly watching for it now. He's got himself with a back wall. The first player spotted his position now revealed. Time is short. They have to kill him now. They're able to do so. Just enough time for the defuse, I believe.
And all that time.
I'm not that confident.
Oh, wow. That was down to the wire, but they do indeed find it. And, you know, all that time Shane spent trying to throw the op away, it doesn't even matter at the end because his gets dropped, or Dare's gets dropped on the site. So, you know, impressive stuff, though, to even get anything out of that situation, right? A 2v4. It looked like they had already conceded the round and were just trying to do damage, but they got more than that. They got the bomb plant, which certainly helps their economy, and that means a much stronger buy is going to come through here with full utility, along with the 4 AKs and the op up and running again, but Strife showing light. Yes.
More importantly than that, they got 2 kills on the CT side. So now Jules is on an MP9. There's no money to spare. If Strife now dropped this round, oh, it would be painful.
Jitter
now finds 1 kill early on. That's going to be Jitter out of play. He's been the hero for them. He is their best fragger. He's down for the count. Now they're grouping on mass. It's a 2-2 on the defense. No one in towards the middle of the map. The Wreck is trying to rectify that. So it's going to be big pressure on for these pit players. Joel's and Darty Montana trying to secure A. Rack drawing some focus, drawing some attention. Joel's with one. He's traded, but there's the trade. Pit holds strong. They needed it to. Rack's there in the nick of time, and Darty Montana with the lineups. Reading his mini-map, and that's well done. But a foot race on.
This is a plant,
As Dara has just decided to leave. And he is absolutely correct with his raid.
It's a really good decision by Dare to rotate around towards the B site, realizing that Strife had to fully reinforce the A site just to fend off their initial take. Great adaptation, and again, a 1v2 scenario for Dare to try and clutch out. This time it's going to be with the big green. Slight peering over the tip of that smoke.
The crazy part here is, again, bringing them down to 2, getting a ball plant.
It's
You've already
expensive.
at least guaranteed you're going to be able to keep them on the edge.
I mean, Dare could get this. This is a really good position.
Time's going to be short. They have a molly. They have a molly, though. Do they pick right? Oh, there's the first connection. The Molotov is picked up. That's huge. Dare goes forward for the fight. He knows he has to come out, but he's got the shot. No, he's
stay alive.
He's dodging. He just needed to buy time.
Is there
He's won
time?
the round. That's all that mattered. He's won the round, John. This bomb is going off, and there's nothing Johnny Montana can do about it.
What a play by Dare to pull that one off. He was in such a great spot, right? With almost half the time ticked off. The bomb at New Box can peek around the corner, full visibility into CT because there was no smoke to guys' vision. And the Molotov was thrown too late because once it gets out there, it's already a 1v1. And Dare buys enough time just dancing around with the knife in his hands to ensure that the bomb will explode even if he goes down. So 14-11 in favor of the Timbermen, and a timeout has been called. You have to imagine by Strife, because due to all the damage that Timbermen were doing, you were talking about a lot, Mike, losing so many men in every single round, they don't have money.
No, they're so broke. They're so...
Mike, actually,
yeah.
Sorry, Timbermen are actually calling this timeout and not Strife.
So they did a similar thing on Vertigo, right?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And
they did a similar thing on Vertigo, where you have the round where you know they're going to be broke. You know they're going to do something probably a little unorthodox, and you know that if you win it, it's a backbreaker. But if you lose it, suddenly the game is back on. I don't mind these timeouts for Timbermen. Yes, it may give your opponent a little bit of time to figure things out, but it gives you the moment to settle. And speaking of getting weird and wild, Darty Montana straight down mid with the 5-7. Holy cow. He's dropped the Opera already. Gary's out of play now. I know he's in a tough spot. He's got one, but he's traded. It's exactly the trap they're trying to set, knowing that Droid is playing this on Banana. A man advantage now. Joel's in. Oh, my goodness. This is going to get weird. This is going to get wild. The gun's now been retrieved for Jitter. They don't know Joel's is here. They don't know Joel's is here, and they're going to rotate this direction. The timing. Oh, no, the timing for Joel's. He just came around the corner at the wrong moment. Shane cleans that up, and that's a huge find. Intra's now got info, and he gets the kill as well. Slide's going to need to go ham here. He's been spotted, but he's got the bomb, and he's got a rifle. Oh, the nade to chase. Slide gets away. This is so close. This is so close. Interesting. The bomb. He wants to fight. He's not got it. It's all on his snap, who brings it down to a 1v1 Jitter remaining. He doesn't have health. He doesn't have armor. Oh, and he doesn't have the round. Map point found for the Timbermen. Series point at that. So close.
Oh,
Strife
man.
almost made it work with pistols.
Yeah, on the eco, we can't forget a light buy coming through. I really love the way Strife played that opening engagement, right? Once they get that push down mid and it yields a frag, they use the pressure that's applied on mid in order to trap Droid on Banana and ensure that even if he's looking in one direction, manages to get a frag, the other side will be pressuring him and ensuring that he gets traded no matter what. Really nicely done from Strife. The problem is that the Timbermen were just too good at spotting out the players. In particular, I think it was Joel's, right, at alt mid, that just could not stay alive and ended up going down. That would have been such a big difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, timing just worked out against him.
Yeah.
He had no idea, obviously. Did a great job of slipping the dragnet, and then just came around the corner right when someone was looking his way. This round is interesting. Series point has been found.
Yes.
For the Timbermen, but their money, it is the poo-poo. So, can they make it work? With a MAC-10 on Droid, with a Galil out, with some limitations to utility, it's not terrible. It's just a little bit barren. Droid gonna go in, go ham, get a kill.
Oh my
Why
goodness.
not? Okay, that's how you make up for having a MAC-10. You go forth and you conquer.
I think, yeah. I was going to say exactly that, Mike. I think Jitter's been spotted. He realized it. Now he's backed off. But timbermen want to keep this aggression going forward. 124 on the clock. But it appears as though they are poised to peek around here. Slight could punish in a big way, especially if they double peek around this corner. Could have himself a Colat. But now the timbermen are going to take their time.
So they cover him off. No, they peek with bomb out. That's not ideal. Jitter gets 2 as well. Oof. And this round is going the way of the dodo. It's been vaporized. For Snav now, it's about damage. For Snav, it's about damage. It's not even so much about the bomb plant, though that would be fantastic. It's a slim possibility. It's whatever kills he can find from here on out. Just to try and peel back a little bit of cash from the CT side. Letting them get away with 4. That would sting. This is space, though. There's going to be players on the other side. He's got 1, not the second. Slight does a good job keeping 3 alive. That's a critical round. Obviously, at this point, losing, you're out. But Strife hang on by the tips of their fingers.
Are they forcing here? Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
So, deciding on the force by... I mean, because there are... Well, they'll
play this, then they'll eco the next.
Yeah.
And then they'll have 1 really good gun round, right?
Exactly, because the loss bonus is going to rack up. So I get it. It's an interesting decision. Makes sense. And it gives you a little more firepower into this round to potentially close it out, right? Because they haven't been too shabby with the pistols and the SMGs. You're going to have 2 Tech 9s, the Deagle, the MAC-10, and the Galil in Dare's hands, which... is the most potent rifle they have available to them. I should say most potent gun. It's the only rifle. Joel's waiting in the apartment. Slight watching from Arch side with the AWP. And Dare's already going to push out a boiler, potentially. No. He peeks around, sees if anyone's porch, trying to open up some space for the peek to come through Arch side. And that's exactly what comes to fruition. Shane hits the insta headshot with the Deagle and now gets himself an upgrade. Now Snav's going to continue to try and close the gap here and gain more space. Joel's watching from the balcony around the edge of it, and Joel's actually goes down to Dare. This is working out perfectly for the Timbermen. Darty Montana, the last bastion of hope here for the time being for Strife, but the reinforcements have already arrived. Rec gets 1, evens it out of 3v3. Timbermen on the site. Chaos ensuing. Red jumps on the top of the box. Darty Montana hits an 8-shot. Shane gets 2, but it's Jitter to clutch it out in the 1v1. Oh my goodness. Strife just barely hanging on there. Oh my goodness, Mike. I have to catch my breath.
That's insane. That almost worked out for the Timbermen off of 3 huge kills from Shane, just opening things up with the Deagle. That was a disgusting shot onto the player Arch onto Slate. Look, if Dare hadn't walked Graveyard to try and kill the pit player and dropped to lane, I don't know that there was an easy way back into that for Strife. That's way too close. And you're going to see the issues here, right? The SMG's out. But this round, there's no investment. Even with the bomb plant, there's minimal investment coming through. Just some Deagles, just some upgraded pistols. Shane's going to save money to presumably drop. Okay. Okay, Darty Montana peeks wide and I guess eats the flash. I don't think he did. But he will get annihilated.
He overstayed his welcome. There's no question. He didn't need to be standing there for that long. At least Slight gets the A1S off the ground. Should be able to convert on the frag as well. He gets snapped, spams through the smoke, connects on Dare. And now they're in better shape, right? The rifle's not going to be on the ground for Timbermen to pick up, Mike.
No, keeping the guns away from him. Tried to go for that same peak. Didn't work out this time. And this round is much more comfortable. Okay, we've gone the full 30. It's looking like there's overtime potentially on deck again. The question becomes, with the buy-in now, can the Timbermen close things out in regulation?
It's not going to be an easy task. Both teams have, pretty much as predicted, played very tightly against each other. The first map, of course, going to overtime. Timbermen took that 19-16. And this one on the verge, potentially, of going to OT as well. Strife pulling it back from 15 to 11, winning 3 rounds in a row, and there spots out one, trying to get back to cover over Fnatic. Can't get the shot off quickly enough because he was caught in midair. Now he's going to go for the boost, and he hits it this time. Jitter is down for the count. He's getting spammed through that smoke, down to 26, but surviving, which is the important part. And then the Molotov gets thrown at the perfect time to take the pressure off of Snav and let him readjust.
Now, here's the thing, though. There's actually decent utility over on the Timbermen. I was going to say there's a little less than they like to have, but they've still got all the smokes. So an execute's going to be comfortable, and they've got the man advantage. So at this point, they leave the Strife side to stew. And you see some of those Molotovs start to come out. 2 of them have just been deployed just based on timing of not seeing anything for a while and getting nervous. And this is what the Timbermen have been thriving on this entire game through. There's one remaining Molly. That's on Darty Montana. He's in the middle of A. They're leaving Rek alone towards B with one flashbang, and he's just spent that flash. 40 seconds. Slight's going to start to come back over, but even Slight only has a single HE. They can't slow this down. They can't stop this take, and this take is coming. It's a thundering down the tracks, and Rek cannot stop this train. 5 players still up. This bomb going down. Maybe that nade finds one. No, it's just nade. Damage. And one after another, they're being whittled away. The numbers falling apart. Strife coming apart at the seam. It's going to need to be Slight. It's going to need to be Darty Montana. And they've got 5 to find. No health or not. It doesn't matter right now. It's just about the number of crosshairs arrayed against them. There are too many. This is too tough a challenge, and Slight and Darty Montana are desperate to find anything, and they will get nothing. It's going to be Timbermen taking their first win in their move-up season of the ESL Challenger League. They've started off on a high note.
It is very difficult to make the adjustment of playing at the advanced level and coming to ECL because it's a very large gap. We've talked about it many times before, but Timbermen really did not miss a beat. They've looked good. They've also played a lot of Counter-Strike as of late, so they are ready to rock here up against Strife.